Good afternoon guys, and welcome back to another episode of Nick's Veggie Patch. So since the upload of the last video, there's lots of things that have been happening down here at Nick's Veggie Patch, and I'll give you a slight guided tour of what's been going on. There's also things today that are going to be planted out, ready for more harvests. So I've got some more chard to go out because we finished the chard that we had growing in one of our raised beds. That's pretty much come to an end, so I'm going to intercrop some more chard in there. There's other bits and pieces that are also going to be going out. So yeah, lots of things going on here guys, and I'll come back to you guys in a bit. Okay guys, so I'm by the boxed raised bed that has the chard in. As you can see, I've pulled most of it up because it has come to an end. We've still got some left on there, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to top up the areas that are low on compost, top it up with compost, and then I'm going to intercrop some more chard into that raised bed, so we'll have fresh new chard. I say you can put more chard into a raised bed that already has chard. Doesn't affect the chard from growing. So yeah, there'll be more chard going into there. There's lots of things coming along here in our new raised bed. Some things where the heat, where it's been so hot, kind of drying out. I've tried to water them, hopefully pull them back, see if we can get anything. But as I said, there's a little bit of space in here that I'll be able to get one or two things. But I've got a couple of raised beds round the corner by my greenhouse that will have stuff put into them. So there is obviously, as you can see, lots of nice things growing. I've got my raised planter over by my shed that currently has some kale in it and some shallots growing. It's got black kale in it, that's ready for basically picking. So I'm going to start picking some of that, and then allowing that to grow more. I've got main crop potatoes down at the very end of this new pathway that we've put down. They are starting to flower, so hopefully in July somewhere we will have some main crop potatoes. I would say probably middle of July, end of July, but just keep watering them. In the raised bed here, I've got the rhubarb, and I've got some Cambridge strawberry plants, and there are some strawberries starting to form on there. And then obviously I've got things happening up on the patio there, as you can see, lots of wonderful things. Still getting some lovely smelling flowers from the sweet peas. That's one of my cats, Toby, just going past. But yeah, lots of things happening guys, but I'll show you the other place where I'm going to be planting out two lots of new items, beetroot, and I think the other one is possibly, I think it's pak choy possibly, but I'll show you where that's going, and then I'll tell you what is actually going in to the planter. And then there's a little bit of tidying up in the greenhouse to do. So in this first raised bed here, guys, I'm going to be putting the pak choi, and that is a variety called yang quing choi. So they'll be going in there. And then in this raised bed here, which is right by the greenhouse, I get some more compost in there. That is having beetroot, and that's the variety called Darko. So that'll be going in there. So I'll just get some fresh compost in there, mix it in, and then put the beetroot in there, and then put the pak choi, chang quing choi in here. So yeah, I'm going to get these beds prepped and ready to go. Get the bits in them, and I'll come back to you guys in a minute. Okay guys, before I put in my 2 new lots of vegetable plants, or one vegetable, one salad, I thought I would clear this area. Now we had a bush here called Agapanthus. It's got too vigorous, as it does, so we've cut it right back, because eventually as you can see, eventually there's wooden boards here. We're going to clear the wooden boards, we're going to get all this area sort of tidied up, and we're going to use breeze blocks to make a raised border here. So the breeze blocks will replace the wooden boards, but one of the reasons I also cleared the Agapanthus, and I'll just get in there with my hands and show you. As you can see there is some lovely figs growing, and the Agapanthus was becoming in the way of the fig tree. Now I will have to go careful of the fig tree, because it can get quite voracious as well. It can grow quite high, so you know, it'll be a case of keeping an eye on that, trimming it back, and then hopefully we'll be able to keep it at a nice set height, and it won't grow, it doesn't grow too high, but you just need to keep an eye on it. But yeah, so cleared the Agapanthus pretty much, and it is just a case of getting down there and getting into all those roots there, as you can see, and just clearing them out. But as I say, when we start on this raised border, we'll have it a good clear out. We'll move the wood and we'll give it a really good clear out, and then we will put obviously breeze blocks all the way along, and we'll have a nice raised raised border, which is literally, it is going to be for flowers and nothing else. So yes, we've got a fig tree in here and an apple tree that are growing really nice, so we're going to have lots of fresh apples again this year, and some loads of figs this year compared to last. But I think what we'll do is we'll clear all of this sort of we'll clear all of that, and then we'll be able to put the breeze block up against the brick wall there, up against our wall. But yeah, as you can see guys, coming along really nice. As I say, I've just cleared that. I'm just clearing out a few bits and pieces from there now where the soil is, and then I'm going to get cracking on and planting out salad and the vegetables. Salad, sorry, they're both salads technically, beetroot and obviously the pak choi. But yeah, just needed to clear this first because it was sort of taking over and it wasn't allowing the fig tree to kind of blossom, but it's cleared now, and yeah, we'll finish the area off, pull up the boards, and eventually we will have breeze blocks there, which will make a better kind of flower border, you know, for lovely flowers and other bits, but I'll show you what we've got coming up there in a minute when I do a slight garden tour. Okay guys, so there we have it. I've got the Darko beetroot in, the pak choi, and I've put their nettings back over. This one here with the beetroot in was one I made out of wood, drilled the holes and then put the hoops in, so that sits on top of that raised bed. The one by the window, that just goes through the compost, so that will stop the birds, pigeons, and it will stop my cats from obviously sitting on the raised beds and ruining all my ruining all my salady, vegetable-y plants, and that will give those the best chance of giving me some wonderful salady bits, vegetable bits. The beetroot, I've kept them together because they like to go together as mates. So I've just basically pulled them apart from the tray that they were in, and then I've sort of grouped them together. So I haven't pulled them out individually. And then when they do grow, all you have to do, guys, is you sort of twist off the biggest beetroots and leave the other ones there, and they'll continue to grow once the bigger of the few beetroots have come off. But yeah, hopefully gonna get some nice beetroots, some nice pak choi, go in a stir fry or a salad, or with the beetroot you'd be able to pickle it. So yeah, lots of nice stuff. The only thing to go out now is to chard and to tidy up the greenhouse a little bit.